invite Mr. Ko. Mr. Ko, coming from Singapore, but worked quite some time in Hong Kong. So Mr. Ko can also share with us his insights between Hong Kong and Singapore. Mr. Ko?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Seng Choon. I'm from Singapore. I'm coming in both as an employer of people with disability. I'm coming in as a train and place of people with disability. Basically, briefly, I tell you how we all started. It started very small. By the way, this is pure enterprise. It doesn't have charity status behind it. It actually depends on yourself to support. So basically, it started very small. Right. It started with just one store, hawker store. And it just keep growing and growing. So it started in small store. You bring elderly up for lunch. Then you engage young people all in one hawker store, a food court, your version, cook food center. Then it keep growing. So we expand to another place where you see a lot of children. If we educate the young of today, the adult of tomorrow will have no problem working with people with disability. Then you see elderly coming in, A, B, C, D. A can walk, B with crutches, C wheelchair, D bedridden. We bring them out. We also train people to start their own business. We've done over 34 cook food center stores in Hong Kong. Then in 2031, we actually expanded again. You must imagine 21, 22 is the worst time in history of the world. So we actually took over a big building. We renovate the whole thing. We conduct classes. I'll explain how we generate money later on. Then we have wheelchair food delivery, where we take a person on wheelchair to do food delivery in Singapore, all within 1 kilometer. This is more remarkable. This girl only had 2 fingers operational, cerebral palsy. And she actually runs a robot from home in Katong all the way to here. By the way, this version already in Hong Kong already. Then we have bookshops, which are created for mother who give birth to disabled. I'll tell you more about it. There are 5 in Singapore, and today is the inspection for the one at Seng today, now at this very moment. Then in 2019, I think you know what happened in 2019? We came over to Hong Kong. We went through this unrest, we went through everything. For those who have never been to Dignity Chain, come for lunch. You will be impressed, seriously. You will be very impressed with it. These are all done by special needs. There's a mama store here as well, which is a training base for us. Then we have a robot here that's fully operational, which is now operational at 3 or 4 sites outside on my place. And we have also wheelchair delivery in Hong Kong, all within 1 kilometer of Shanghai Kai. So that is what we do. We are the winner of the President Challenge Social Enterprise Award. 2 months ago, I went to collect the World 50 Best Restaurant Champion of Change. This is not like Michelin star. These are the entire chef in the world nominate people who actually deserve it. There are 3 of them. I'm one of them. But I tell you the joke is that this one got 50,000 Singapore dollar. I went for that one because they give it to me at 20,000 pounds and a free ticket to London to collect it. So I did it for the money actually. Right. So that's what I did. So how do we did it? Actually very simple. First, to help a person with differently able, you train them. You give them a skill. Cooking is a skill. If you study Maslow hierarchy of needs, what was the bottom? People need to eat, people need to drink. So we train them in that sense. But to train them, you need the curriculum. All the curriculum we see doesn't suit one thing. Actually, it's cook food center. Hawker center is one single skill. If you do your laksa well, you do your wonton mee well, people will buy it. So I took 2 years to develop the whole curriculum. I'll show you how the curriculum works. After that, you give them employment. No point train, and no employment. So we create employment. If we cannot get you placed, we actually create businesses, one after another. Then after that, integrate back to society. Hong Kong Cook Food Center is an integration center. Your food court is integration center. Everybody goes there. So imagine they're all people with disability, serving people who are customers, corporate. And finally, inclusion, to get society to accept them. We create a lot of events to engage corporate, schools, children, and that's how we did it. Because you've got to give them a purpose. Training them is not the problem. Getting them to stay in a job is a problem. They can't stay long. And our placement is 100% success rate. Right. So we are job creator. So how do we do it? Actually, we are not, Hong Kong, there's singular silo, Ours is not. Ours is compass the whole thing. So from hearing impaired, working with dyslexia, single parents, we combine the whole thing into one platform. Everybody comes to it. I'll tell you more about it later. So we got we categorize into physical, mental, social, intellectual. Physical as in loss of limb, mental and schizophrenic, bipolar, social, abuse cases. We don't do drug addict, right? I'll tell you why if you want to know. Then intellectual, IQ 70 below, right? We take on different race, 17 years old to 87 years old. Then you may wonder why you take 87 years old. We take on terminal illness. If you want to die in Singapore, 3 months and less, you have to go to hospice. 3 months and less, you don't die. 1 year, you must die. Which means you take them for daycare. This is really, but this is reality. We all go to the path one day. So they are daycare and home care. So what do we did? We take them to who are going to die at home. Before they got terminal illness, they are chefs, they are cooks, they are everything. So we take them in. The remarkable story is that they didn't die in 1 year. They survived 5 years, 6 years. Think about it. Why? I can tell you the answer later. So we did a lot of this very remarkable project. Our purpose is to return dignity to these people. If they have disability, actually, to be honest, they have dignity, everything can be done. Another thing we did is we got job creator. You can train whatever you like. We can create the job, right? So, how do we earn the money? First of all, we sell food. We have a we have a cook food center. We earn money. The minute you go in, we earn money. We also do delivery, right? We organize events. Later I show all the events that we do. And we actually did is we rent out the space. You know that Dignity Kitchen has done 3 weddings. Imagine your wedding is in a hotel. Can you imagine your wedding is in a cook food center? You will never forget your wedding, right? You'll be very surprised. Wedding in the buffet is not by tray. Buffet is by store, one store after another. We are innovators. We are very creative innovators. That's how we actually make money. And by the way, people do spend money on weddings, right? Next, education. We train people. Training is one of the 40% of my business comes from there, right? And the other 40% comes from the event side. But the money as a social enterprise, we don't keep. We give it away. What do we give away? Whenever we take a training student in, we pay them $37.50 an hour. In Singapore, it's $6 an hour. One child in Singapore cost me $36, and one person we train is $6,000 to $8,000. Nothing comes from the government. It's purely by itself. So what he did is, money is the best motivator. Can you imagine a teacher go to school and tell the student, everybody who asks me one question, I'll give you $100 Hong Kong dollar. I can tell you, the whole class, everybody will ask question. Is it correct? Right? Money. That's a reality. But we can do it that none of the NGO can do. We throw money at you. A lot of time we put money, a lot of things in. Elderly trade. Every day in Singapore, we go to nursing home, in Hong Kong as well. We go to nursing home, fetch the elderly for lunch out. Why? Elderly, to be honest, if you go to nursing home, ask the old people what they want to get out. So we bring up city to Yao Chai Hall and then come for lunch free of charge. My people will cook for you, sing for you. This is actually a trick. This is the formula. Imagine I'm a disabled person cooking for people who are elderly. You buy their heart. That's the trick, right? And you motivate them. Later I'll tell you about the UDL standard. Then working capital. Every day in Singapore and Hong Kong, we give out 130 meal boxes to the poor, right? Every single day. COVID-19, we still do it. So I'll tell you, all the money comes from where? The money for buses to fetch your elderly from Hong Kong comes from where? By the way, Hong Kong is actually very expensive for renting a bus. You know, you don't cross the sea is thousands of dollars per day for 2 hours. You don't cross the sea is $800. It's quite expensive. So what we did is we actually create jobs. So individually, I spent how we did it. I know I'm going to take a bit more than 10 minutes. Dignity Kitchen. You have one in Singapore. You've done in Hong Kong, right? And the one in Hong Kong is actually doing, pretty well now, Hong Kong, Singapore as well. They're not small. This is 10,600 square feet. This is 6,900 square feet. Mama Store. Mama Store is one of my favorite projects. It's all started because I saw mother who give birth to disabled children. Everybody focus on the child. Wrong. You focus on the mother. A woman will understand. She's a mother. She's a caregiver. And more importantly, she's the only person who cares for the kids. Father can run away. That's why it's called Dignity Mama. Right? And the idea is to put them together. I can't train the child. This is a child I cannot train. for various reasons. They are extreme disability. By the way, we went out to lower function one. We dare to take that, right? So we take them in, put them together, and sell second-hand books. Among all of you here, after today, you should come, Mr. Cole, where can I give you my books? Everybody here got storybooks, novels. So what we do, we take it in, we clean it, we pack it, and we sell it, right? Now, those books, like assessment book, we send to Vietnam. Those management book, Kotler, marketing, version 10, version 9, there's not much difference. So we collect them, we send to Philippine College, right? So what we did is, it's a recycling operation. In Singapore, we collect used computer, and then we recycle them, give it to the poor, right? Every month, we recycle thousands of storybooks because you guys go to Salvation Army to destroy them. We don't. We recycle them. So in Singapore, there's 5 hospitals employing 34 people. Hong Kong, today actually, Cheng Yi is going to pass his test. Once Cheng Yi passes his test, he'll be the first one outside a hospital. Cheng Yi Hospital today will pass. Mama Store, QE has been around for a year now, right? Mother and child, mother and child. Hong Kong employ over 20. By today, 20 people are employed. Here, 34 people, right? The next one, dignity event. This is how we engage the public. We get you in, we talk to you. So everyone has a purpose. The one at the bottom is cook, bake, and serve. We get you in, 2 o'clock, we get you big muffins, siu mai. 4 o'clock, we give the poor. You're educating the young. This is the most interesting one. What happened is that we bring kids in Hong Kong and Singapore as well. They don't engage the elderly. They stand in one corner and play handphone. So we decided to put them together and play games. We have a lot of games. Then this is the cheapest. This one doesn't cost you anything. You just come and sing for the elderly, entertain the elderly. You'll be very surprised. All they want is something very simple. They want somebody to talk to. That's all. And this one is, we have a lot of things like that. Okay? So, these are my customer. I'm not the auntie, uncle coming to eat. We actually cater to a lot of CSR programs. We are very successful in that, right? This is a project I saw just now, a robot running around here. This is a project for homebound paralytic. At this very moment, if you go to Hyatt Satin, there's a robot there. So when you walk in, check in or check out, okay. If you go to MTR station, Tosa one, can't remember the Chinese name. Anyway, is Sang Wong Toi. That is a robot there, also looking at ambassador. MTR now, I'm coming to negotiate now. They have about 100 MTR stations. We're going to create all the stations with robot. But where's the operator? At Lohas Park, at Martau. They are all at home. They are all controlling a tablet, controlling a robot. These are the homebound paralytic. Imagine how many jobs I can create with just this. So we are doing this now. So that is in Hyatt Hotel. That is the one at Exhibition Hall downstairs last month. We transfer them out. This is what you're looking at. Is very interesting. It's actually a robot walking around Jurong Community Hospital. When you go to a hospital, they'll come in, how are you? You want menu A, you want me. They are nursing assistant. But the most interesting is, when you go and press a hospital, your patient press a button, you expect the nurse to come. Nurse don't come. Patients stand up, fall. Fall precaution is the biggest problem in hospital. So what they do? The nurse, my robot will go there, talk to them. They're all men by nursing, retired 80-year-old nurses at home cannot come out. Right. I just told Rebecca, I'll put a pet tablet in your place. Your people can start work now. And controlling all the thing. It's job creation. You need a bit more imagination to do this, right? Singapore, Hong Kong has a big problem. Because I know, in my queue now, the biggest problem is mental. I got depression, a lot of mental patient case, in Singapore especially. So about a year ago, I decided how to help these people. So why don't I do something quite unique? I opened Dignity Kitchenette. So what it does is, we bring them out at 9 o'clock, we send them back at 5 o'clock. So the starting time is 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, slowly back up. Now, all 4 of them has full-time job. Right, because you slowly integrate back to society in a real society environment. In this case, it's located in an industrial building. So there are about 3,000 people there, they entertain them, and that's how I do. Actually, also today, the one on the right, actually got a house now. We are actually kitting up the house for her today, this weekend. now. You see, they go back to life and they have proper job. But you mustn't start straight away. You do 2 hours, 4 hours, slowly build them up. Right. I know. Just 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes. This is the wheelchair in Singapore, Hong Kong. This is, everybody talk about urban farming. Right. We create an urban farm. If you have worked with autistic children, it's very interesting. They are very systematic. 8 o'clock, do something 9 o'clock. They are very systematic. This were actually, because the biggest problem urban farm in Hong Kong now is you got no workers. So these are the workers. Sorry, the one don't work. This is what you do in Hong Kong. Every day we go out. These are not the poor people you see. These are the working poor. It all started with the auntie pushing the cardboard boxes. I approached them. I said, I can't give you money, but I promise you one thing, dinner every night. So every night we create hundreds of people queuing up for free food. Why is different from others that we don't ask you for the ID number? You queue, I give you, no question asked. Right, and that's how we did it. Singapore, this is 130. Okay, rushing off. This is something we also did quite well. We focus on different groups. And one of the groups that we do are people who are going to die, terminal illness. We go to hospice and say, what do you want to eat? We cook for you. Right. It's very successful. The one on the 19th coming up is last Christmas. This is something also quite interesting. When we bring elderly here, not only are we singing for them, entertaining them, we did one thing very good. We make up for them and take a photograph. So what the purpose is that people should die with dignity. But I screw up. This one I really screw up. When I come to Hong Kong, I say, what I do in Cantonese, 我幫你做大頭相. Everybody told 大家嚟試.
車頭相啊.
But if you Google portrait, it's actually 大頭相. It's not wrong. I'm not wrong. But people took it differently. It's 車上相, is it? Something like that. I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
車頭相.
車頭相, I got it wrong.
On the
But
front.
now, you're very good. We actually make up for them because I always go to funeral and see people's photographs so ugly. So I decided to do this. And I tell you, they are very happy, especially those homeless ones. So finishing, this is what you all want to see, is the entire curriculum we built for over 2 years. Every single set on how to manage, how to operate, and how to take culinary skill. This is the intellectual property. Now we are building the next level, the food court. So quickly, at the moment, there are 180 people working for me now. By the end of I hope to achieve 200 by the end of this year, of which over 50-60% are all over 50 years old. And over 80% are all people with differently able people. We have a lot of awards. You're looking at the only ISO 22000 food court in the world. Everything you eat in Dignity Kitchen today are food tasted. Right. So we've done 1,000. So very quickly, to work with people as an employer, as a trainer, patient and patient. Don't look at their disability. Everyone is unique. Everyone is not a number. That is what I always tell people, right? Clear and concise. To work with them, you have to be very clearly tell them what you want to do. Be patient. So it's not just working there. That's why people say, why don't you put at McDonald's and all that? They can't, because McDonald's has KPI, very fast. Pizza Hut has very fast. So what we did is, you must need supervision. I cannot place one person. People say, why don't you open another one? Right, I'm going to. The work in stages. Don't give them stage, right? In stages. And slowly go. Right. Routine, repetitive job. Okay, quickly. Money, motivation. Quickly treat them as family. And don't shout. One thing I don't do is don't shout at them. They have gone through a lot, and don't try to make it difficult for people. Educate the co-worker. I put this one as the most important. It's not how many companies. Every company wants to do good. The problem is the co-worker. Educate the co-worker. Because the success of any placement is to do it, the co-worker. Our placement is 100% success. We can get you job, definitely, right? And to stay on the job is, sorry, why you go back? Oh, sorry. I go back. Okay, I'm finished already. Oh, sorry, I got to do some wrong one. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ko. Mr. Ko always speak with a passion. Sorry for pushing, because Hong Kong, like Singapore, we have land problem and also have time problem. We don't have sufficient time for all our sharing. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I think we are talking about how we can support the inclusive employment. And I just want to pick up your brain on your insights, how the issues are evolving, the trends are evolving, getting better, more challenges over the past 2 years because of the COVID, and also how your operating model are also evolving in response to those changes. Mr. Ko?
Our experience of COVID was very bad. Anybody who are in business in Hong Kong during the COVID is really struggling. 2 to a table, 4 to a table, lockdown, everything. So if you have a business like a food business, you're actually very tough. So the first thing is that the period is very tough. But the problem with this period is that there are more people out of job. And the first people they retrench or they kick out are the people with disability. The number of people I have now in the queue is nearly 200 people. This COVID generate a lot of unemployment for people with disability. That's why you see that all the ideas come up. Now we are building one after quickly because they are needing job now. So that is the second thing that happened. Thirdly, even now, things are not picking up as fast, not like Singapore, because I'm a good fortune that I've done Singapore, I've done Hong Kong. I can see the difference, right? Singapore has its pro and con, so has Hong Kong. So the demand for what we do now is increasing. That's why COVID, the changes. But one of the third thing that actually come out from this COVID is the mindset. You know, I started this 12 years ago in Singapore. Kids are not like what it is today. Now, young people are more engaging, wanting to do more. That is a remarkable thing. I think that that period of COVID has a positive side. It changed people to be more socially conscious. And that's a good thing that come out of this COVID.